Hey, what's up and hello. Today we're going to do a quick tutorial on how to set up and make a basic animation in Animate. So once you have the program launched, go to Create New or File New to start a new document. We're going to set the width to 1940 by 1080. Make sure the frame rate is set to 12 and the platform type is set to ActionScript 3.0 and press Create. Once you have that set up, you're then going to go to the timeline at the bottom and make sure that you have enough space. So by default it's normally compressed. You can scale it up to make it longer. And then Control plus minus zooms in, zooms out on the actual scene itself. On the left hand side you have the basic toolbar, and on the right hand side you have the library and properties panel. The properties panel will change based upon the tool you are selected. Since there's no tool selected currently, you can edit or tweak the actual document settings. So for starters, we're going to click on the oval tool to make it oval. Holding shift, drag out a perfect circle. And then now what you want to do is, when you select it, we want to then put this into the library to make this a part of our assets. So go to Modify, Convert to Symbol, or keyboard shortcut F8 or Function F8. We're going to call this blue circle. Make sure the type is graphic and make sure your registration mark is set to the center point. So once you press OK, it'll then populate in the library. So if we're to delete it, we can simply drag one out from the library. So for starters, we're going to first move the ball off to the left-hand side. And as you can see on layer 1, frame 1, there's a black dot with a gray rectangle. That means that there is a keyframe on this timeline. The circle or ball does not exist anywhere but layer 1, frame 1. To change that, we must add frames to this layer. So I'm going to click at 6 seconds, and I'm going to go to Insert Timeline Keyframe, or Function F5, or F5 on the keyboard. So now this gray bar is extended so that the ball now exists between 1 and 6 seconds. So now to start doing the motion, we're going to click on the first frame, keyframe on layer 1, and we're going to go to Insert, Create Classic Tween. Once you create Classic Tween, the gray bar will then shift to a purple one with dotted lines. That's how you know there is a Classic Tween active on that layer. So in order to make motion, the simple thing is to set the amount of time it takes for the motion to occur. So I'm going to set mine at 60 frames or 5 seconds, and it's going to travel across the screen. So then once you do that, once you move it, it automatically sets a keyframe for you. So when we go to preview it, Control Enter, it shows the ball going across the screen. But if we wanted the ball to go across the screen but stop in the center, we have a few more steps to do. So I'm going to double click on layer 1, or I'm going to call this blue circle, and then I'll make a new layer and call this blue circle stop. So the reason why we made a second layer is because if it's moving, it has to be on a separate layer. You can't have two objects that move differently on one layer. If they're moving in tandem, meaning the exact same time, speed, scale, and pace, you can put them on one layer. But generally speaking, you always want to make sure that one motion or one object moving per layer. So again, I'm going to click on my library, and I'm going to drag the ball out and put it underneath this one, but making sure I'm on the stop layer. In order to do that, I want to simply lock my circle layer. Since we're done with the motion, I'm locking the blue circle layer because I don't want to accidentally edit it or make any changes to it. So that being said, on the stop layer, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to insert classic tween. It's going to go from gray to purple. But this time, I want the ball to stop at 2 seconds in the center of the stage. So it's going to stop here. And then I don't want it to move for a whole 2 seconds. So I'm going to click at 4 seconds and hit F6 or function F6 or insert timeline keyframe to manually set a keyframe so that between 2 and 4 seconds the ball is static. But then at 5 seconds, I want the ball to catch up, so I'm going to drag it to the exact same position underneath of the first ball. So when we go to play it, they both come in roughly at the same time. One stops, but then the other one moves faster to catch up because they both have the exact same end time and position. Meaning, even though that this one pauses for 2 seconds, it speeds up in order to continue the motion of it ending at 4 seconds. So one is a constant moving at a constant speed. The other one starts off slightly faster, pauses, but then gets dramatically more faster to catch up at the 4 second mark. So this is how you make a basic animation or motion using keyframes. Thank you.